I'll be right back. I'm just getting a lip gloss. Just getting a lip gloss. Hi guys, I've never gone live this late at night. I know a lot of European followers are in bed, so I don't know if anyone will join, even in the US, because it is pretty late. But I just wanted to check in. I feel like a lot of the reasons, that, influencers or whatever, fashion bloggers, lifestyle bloggers, get such bad reps is because it seems like such a self-serving career and position. And I feel like sometimes I'm guilty of doing the same thing where it's like I'm only talking about myself. And so I really my intent on being here ultimately is to build a brand where I'm able to engage and provide resources for other women based on some of the things that I've experienced. So today was a really tough day for me, mental health wise, and it got me thinking. The good part about that and the shift in perspective would be to check in on the women that I get to basically communicate with on here and to see how they're doing, because obviously everybody is going through something. So that was the reason I just wanted to do a late night live, kind of late night. I mean, let's not get crazy. It's only 10, but still I usually go live during the day. So I'm just checking in. I just wanted to see how everybody's doing and, let you know that I guess it's not even like you're not alone, because I could say that and you could be like, shut up, I feel so alone. It's more just like the visibility that comes with speaking out about these types of issues. And I think the more we continue to have conversations, the more we normalize mental health, depression, anxiety, PTSD, any number of things that people write to me and, let me know that they're experiencing. So I just wanted to know if I can work. I wanted to let you know that if I can be a resource to you, it's the least I can do. You guys allow me to be able to do this for a living. So that's really the least I can do. And I'm just genuinely concerned with the state of, the world these days. So I think the only thing to do is to try to be a positive light, Anyway, let me scroll down. Oh, thank you. So some of my followers are so sweet. Danny, thank you so much. She said, you're so eloquent. Thank you, because I felt like a hot, bumbling mess today. I was running all around. I woke up late because I didn't sleep last night. Then I had this really bad interaction with, I'll just be candid about it, with my mother, who isn't really a part of my life. So that was very, very difficult and a bit of a setback. I've been doing really well for the past few weeks and coming to a lot of realizations. So that was something negative, but I mean, ultimately, you can't allow it to be a negative or you'll exist in that space forever and you'll die there. So I had to try and turn it around, but it did set me back for a bit. And, that's not good because I'm in the process of weaning off of medication and, everything that I've shared with you guys before. And I just don't really want any setbacks right now. I mean, I'm definitely recovering from a lot of things and getting stronger, but I wouldn't say that I'm bulletproof yet and back to, or maybe not back to, at the first point in my life, totally immune to that kind of interaction. So it wasn't great, but it happened, and so I know that there has to be a reason for it. I love you. I love you too. I really do. Hello, say hi for me in Indonesia. By the way, when I say I really do, I mean I really love the women that I get to interact with on here. It's changed my life. The energy that I get from the lessons I've learned, the conversations I've gotten to have, even when I put the thing up about abortion last night, referring to the Alabama law. Obviously, that's such a controversial subject, but for the most part, I got to have discourse with women about what specifically I was referring to, because it's such a nuanced topic. It's not just one-stop shopping. And, therefore, I learn a lot too. So, when I say I love you, I really mean I love you. And it's just really a blessing that this community has become a part of my life. So, hello, say hi for me in Indonesia. Hello, and hi to Indonesia. I've never been to Indonesia. I would like to go. Somebody is crying, laughing. Hair tutorial coming soon. I actually am restarting. Okay, so this is like a bit of an announcement. I'm actually going to be restarting my YouTube channel, and I haven't verbalized that yet because I realized that in the past what I would do is sort of talk about things prematurely. So I'd get really excited about it and I'd be like, I have 10 ideas and I've reached out to this person, this person, this person, but I didn't really know what went into running a full-time YouTube channel, filming something alone, ingesting the footage, cutting the video, uploading it. Takes a while, so I was ill prepared. I also, I work alone. I don't have a manager, although recently I started working with somebody who has alleviated a big chunk of that burden, which is really nice. So anyway, the point is I've sort of gotten to a place where I can safely say that I can maintain now a YouTube channel, and there is a lot of content coming in. Some of the most requested videos are just hair and makeup, which I can do really easily actually. So I'm really excited for that because I much prefer talking and writing, even though I think blogs are kind of dead to a certain extent. But I much prefer that than really just taking photos and posting them on Instagram. But the truth is that you kind of have to do that if you want to have a social media presence, because Instagram is the biggest app right now, and so that's sort of how you garner a following in the first place and stay afloat from a business perspective. But that's actually not the bread and butter of what I like to do or what I'm most passionate about by any means. So there's that. But it's like, I'm just saying it to you guys on this live. I'm still at a point, although we've already started filming and whatnot for YouTube, where I haven't said it like on a photo caption or my stories or anything, because what I want to do is shift it so that the work speaks for itself. I don't say anything, whereas in the past I would get so excited and I'd like blabber about it, and then everybody would be like, oh, she fucking films one video, like what? But it was because I was taking on everything, including managing myself, which allows me to monetize and stay afloat. So that's a whole other spectrum of this that I don't think a lot of people talk about in the social media world, that keeps me pretty busy as well. So that's that. Love you too, Carly. I've been missing your lives. Oh, thank you. I've been missing doing my lives, actually. I just kind of like fell off. Hair looks great. Oh, thank you. I curled it today. I had a shoot today, later in the day, because I had other stuff going on prior to that. And I don't know, it stayed fresh. Thank goodness. Sending you love from LA, my happy place. Thank you. I received the love. I feel it. I want to come back to LA. How do you deal with the pressure of having something to post every single day? I think, the pressure for me doesn't come with having to post. If it were just posting, which is what so many people see, and that's the only thing they see, that would be totally fine. But what it actually is, in order to, ensure that I'm also monetizing, like I said, and keeping this afloat is... Hi, honey.
How are you?
Honey, I'm on live. You want to come?
No.
Celestino's here, guys.
What are you doing?
I'm on live.
You gotta go to work.
I go to work at 9 p.m. So I would say, or 10 p.m. So I would say that, the pressure isn't... Sorry, he distracted me. You want to say something in Spanish?
No.
Okay.
You want to close?
Yeah.
¿Quieres que cierre la puerta?
¿Quieres que cerrar la puerta? Did you guys hear that? His first and only appearance on any live that I'll ever do. Yeah, close it, please. Sorry, I got distracted because he came in the room, and I thought for a second maybe I could get him to come on my live, but no such luck. Anyway, so it's not just taking the photo, right? That's the easy part, because I could just get up in the morning and, think about an outfit that would make sense for the season and get to that spot. What's more difficult is, for me, the back end of things, sort of like allowing them to run tantamount to one another. So the front end is a visual platform. It's about being creative. It's about doing my makeup and, you know, looking a certain way to represent myself, and to provide some form of inspiration. But then the back end, you know, is how am I going to get paid this month? So just like in any other business, it really is about knowing people. It's nepotism, you know, and my background is not in fashion. So I take a lot of meetings. I interact with people in the fashion community who don't necessarily know who I am and, you know, who I might be able to work with. And if that feels like a good fit organically, then a lot of times we do end up working together. It's a lot of, you know, booking those deals, receiving contracts, building out content on behalf of brands, which is a slightly different skill set. And making sure that I'm being responsive to emails, seeing what brands have a budget, what brands don't, and just staying really on top of back-end things as well. So it's I guess what I'm trying to say is it's kind of two different sides of the brain, and both are equally fun for me, actually. I don't prefer one over the other, but it just becomes a little bit, I'm not saying it's like taxing, right? As a blogger, it's not like it's just, it can be time consuming because when I'm doing emails and whatnot, I'm not obviously shooting. I'm with my hair in a bun, wearing this sweatshirt and like the same pair of pants that I've been wearing for the past 4 days. Like it's not a cute look. It's a totally different Brooke. And then when I'm shooting, it's like I have a face on and I have my hair done and, you know, the wings are the right way. So it's just, it can get a bit time consuming, but it's, the photos are the easy part, you know. Love from India. Oh, love to India. You've changed our lives, mine at least. Oh, don't make me cry. I'm already emotional today. Thank you. I'm already emotional today. Hey, Brooke, miss you in NYC. Love living vicariously through you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And yeah, I mean, I feel really fortunate to be in NYC. At the same time, I just went to LA and I thought that was a really nice change of pace. I felt myself driving, you know, we were in Ubers and whatnot, but I literally felt myself like breathe and just kind of say there are other alternatives in life too, because in the past I've always sort of thought that New York was always the be all end all. As much as I would like dream about moving somewhere warm or something like that, I'd always be like, well, but New York is home, I'm not really gonna do it. And now I feel like maybe down the line in a couple of years we would leave New York, I'm not sure, but I'll always come back here, and I agree, it's definitely a city that I would always miss, and it's home. Scrolling down. You're so beautiful. Oh, thank you guys. Hello from Saudi Arabia. Hello. I have so many friends in Saudi. Hey, good morning, Brooke. Hey, how are you guys? Then there's this guy writing like sexual weird shit and telling me to go fuck myself and like all these nice, beautiful things that, you know, occur on social media. Hi, Judy. Glossip Girl is one of my dearest friends who is an incredible makeup artist. And actually, just when I start to think I'm doing like a good face beat, she'll come in and do my makeup, and I'm like, I don't know anything, actually. Great, thanks. But while I have her makeup on, I'm very happy. Hola desde Argentina. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Do you speak Spanish? Un poquito, pero no mucho. Mi abuela es de España, pero se murió hace muchos años. So because of that, not really. And also because I don't really understand when Celestino speaks. I know that's bizarre after 5 years. You would think I would pick up on the language, because even with some of his friends, I do find myself picking up very quickly, but when it's just he and I, he'll speak to me in English. He'll be able to convey his point much faster that way, so I guess I just don't really get adequate practice. What's your view on gay rights? I am a huge supporter of the gay community, and or of the LGBT community, and I believe in gay marriage, and I believe in equal rights across the board for gay people. You're an inspiration. Thank you. I love your account, Invisible Scar. I love your account. Beautiful Scar is an Instagram account that I follow, and well, she won't mind me saying, I don't think, because it's public. It's about inspiration in getting through a tragic event in life. She had gotten a really bad concussion, and it affected her life for several years thereafter, and she talks about it on her account, Invisible Scar, so you guys can follow that. It's all one word. I have my own family shit, but I look up to people like you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think everybody has, their own family shit. I'm really blessed because I have a pretty great extended family, and you guys know I always show my grandfather, who basically raised me, along with my aunt Brooke, who also basically raised me, and the rest is I love my family. I just there's a level of toxicity and abuse that, if I were to allow it in my life at this point, would be detrimental, I believe, to not only my day-to-day existence, that's one thing, but my marriage, kids, the people around me in my immediate space who do bring really good energy. So I think at a certain point, it's not really about, I can't allow this because of myself. It's, I can't allow this because it will directly and negatively affect the healthy relationships that I do have, and those people don't deserve the pain from your past experiences. And that's kind of how I look at it, if that makes sense. Hello, Brooke. I'm Brazilian, but online in Ireland. When are you coming to Ireland? Oh my goodness. Well, I'd like to go to Brazil. I'd like to go to Ireland too, but I don't have any imminent plans. Whereas in South America, I feel like I could probably get to Sao Paulo a little bit quicker. But we will see. I'm just kind of getting some potential summer travels sorted right now, but nothing is finite yet. Just realized that this is you wearing this gorgeous outfit on my profile photo. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I shot that look years ago, 3 years ago with Jeff Thibodeau. At the last minute, I wasn't going to shoot the look, and then we did, and it got reposted everywhere. I don't know why. I'm not sure why. I'm from Dubai. I love Dubai. I have friends who were born and raised in Dubai, and when I went there, I've only been once, but they were so gracious, and they were the best hosts. They showed us around and took us to really great restaurants and to see all the sights, and we had a really good chunk of time there on a layover flight. Well, not a layover, it was a layover, but a 5-day layover on the way to Malaysia a couple of years ago. That was one of the first trips I ever took with Celestino, and I was sort of I don't really know if I want to just go to Malaysia because it's a 20-something hour flight. And he's like, well, what if we stopped in Dubai? And I was like, okay, I'm going. Scrolling down. Currently, where do you look for fashion inspiration? Kisses from Brazil. Oh, love that question. So I would say 3 places. I immediately go on just Google and I look at street style images from recent fashion weeks, and a lot of the times they're more editorial than what I might ordinarily wear, but I'll figure out what color combinations or what patterns, what textures are in for that season, and I'll garner inspiration from that and do a simplified version on myself. I really like just seeing girls at the big shows in Paris, New York, London, but really anywhere, just sort of walking to and from, because I find that they kind of bring out their most creative selves. Sometimes it gets a little too crazy, I think, and it becomes a bit costumey, but you can also, there are some go-to women street style, what would I call them? I don't know if they're bloggers or just women that I repeatedly see outside of shows whose style I just genuflect towards. So you can just Google image those, and then there's a website that has fashion editorials that people submit, the photographers, and I really like looking at editorial spreads, especially kind of hot off the press, and then again making that more attainable. And lastly, I would say I like to look at things on the runway just to see the shape or the silhouette and to think of things that I would never think of on my own because I'm not a designer. That's not something I ever want to do. If somebody offers me a line, like, I just don't think I would really take it. That's not my forte. That's not what I'm great at or by any means. So I definitely, I think it's great when girls do that, but it's just not for me. So I love looking at what like really established designers, I don't get invited to those shows yet, do, and then just being cognizant of that as I go shopping, and I kind of like build a wardrobe for that season myself. Brooke, how tall are you? I am 5'8", like 5'8" on the dot. How many times a week do you train? 0. Zero. I actually went to the gym today, the health club, because we had to switch looks in between shooting. And I didn't even realize that my gym had like this amazing locker room, and I felt like it was in a spa. I didn't even know it was a part of my building, and I've lived here for like 4 years or something like that. I don't train. I don't work out. I've had increments, very limited increments where I've tried to, but it's just not something that I stick to. I have to get better about that. I hate that I don't work out and that I don't eat well, but I don't. Brooke, you're living your best life. Thank you. I mean, I'm trying to do that, you know. These are the days I'll look back on probably and miss one day, you know. So I'm definitely trying to live in the present moment at the very least. Do you still have your assistant? So no, Caitlin, I love her, adore her, and vice versa. We still are in touch, but we're no longer working together, and that was for a number of reasons. I don't even want to get into it. It was nothing, you know, like I said, we are in touch, and she's a great girl, but we're not working together anymore. So a lot of stuff is, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff right now on my own. But it's okay. It's just, I want to always have more hours in the day because like I said, I would like for the YouTube channel to be rolling out content, and I would like to be, you know, doing 1,000 other things that I just have limited time and resources and can't quite do yet. But I'm working to surround myself with the right energy and with people who bring everything that I need to the table. And thankfully, I've never had like a negative or, you know, bad experience with a past employee at all. Brooke, will you go on a date with me? I don't think anybody's asked me on a date since I was like 17, truly. Well, I'm married, so I think Celestino wouldn't appreciate that, but thank you for asking. And it's just funny to me because I haven't been asked out on a date in like, I can't even tell you how many years. I feel like vintage at this point. We have some great fashion in Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, so Melbourne, but Australia as a whole, some of my favorite brands are coming out of Australia, many of them actually. And there was a while where I feel like I was like only wearing Australian designers. You guys are, I love your stuff. I love Australian fashion. How do you manage your eating habits to maintain a great body? Oh, thanks. Actually, I have gained about 15 pounds since the time of my wedding. No one believes that, but the scale isn't lying. It's just, I guess, evenly distributed, and it's not like I'm into bodycon, and so you're not really seeing it, but it's there. So I actually have, I don't recommend this to anyone, which is why I don't really talk about my eating habits, but I guess I've sort of fallen into this cycle. I have this hood up because there's air conditioning on, and I'm like getting like a gust of wind. But what I realistically do is, like yesterday, I went to town. I was ravenous. I had just a tremendous amount of unhealthy food, and then today I forced myself to sort of overcompensate, and I ate like extremely clean, counted calories, supplemented it with a lot of coffee, you know, so that will allow me to maintain my current weight. It won't allow me to lose weight. it won't cause me to gain weight, but it's not what you want to be doing. You don't want to get into, I mean, that's not a sustainable life plan with respect to consuming food. It's just, like, super candidly, the mode that I'm in right now, and I would love to meet or to find a nutritionist or a trainer who I really like and can learn from, but I just feel kind of lost. Like, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to really eat well. I mean, obviously I have an idea of fruits, vegetables, grilled chicken, salmon, fish, that kind of thing, but it's like I don't know specific recipes, and I don't do that as much as I should. A lot of times I'll just be super indulgent and then I'll overcompensate the next day. So it's not that I can just eat whatever and never gain weight. That doesn't happen. It's that I then overcompensate and adhere to this extremely strict, probably borderline unhealthy diet the next day. And that's just like what I do, if I'm being totally truthful with you. And I don't recommend doing it at all. I also have no energy, and I feel like I'm 75 years old. Have you ever, or will you ever visit Colombia? I've only been to Colombia once. Celestino is from Caracas. He's from Venezuela, and so Colombia is a neighbor. And I have been to Colombia once, years ago, to a really tiny town, like not anything that you would ever think a person would go to, not anywhere, rather that you would think a person would go to on their first visit to Colombia, because it was such a tiny town. I believe it's in the southern part of the country. It's called Armenia, and I had a wedding to attend there. But I would, of course, like to go to Bogota and the larger cities and to really get a feel for more of Colombia. Absolutely beautiful country, though, from what I did see. We have some Colombian friends. I love the people. It's a great country, and I would love to spend more time there. There are a lot of places in South America that I just really love. Can you go back to doing a 9-to-5 job? Actually, whenever I meet with business contacts and stuff like that, which I did today, somebody who's become a friend, more of a friend than just a contact, but I hear about what she's doing, and I think, I'm going to apply for a job here. I do. I'm somebody who thrives in an environment where I have coworkers. I'm not the most self-motivated person in the world, so I do better when I have either a professor in a past life or a boss being like, this is due then, because I tend to wonder, and I have ADHD, and I'm all over the place, and so I do sort of miss the structure and the camaraderie of being in an office space. I have, when I was in other industries and doing when I had other careers, I had a lot of really close friendships with my coworkers, and they kept me going and they kept me incentivized. And especially when I was reporting, sometimes you would travel for days at a time with a team, and sometimes the conditions were a little bit precarious or dangerous or whatever the case was, and you just forged these bonds with people that you might not have known the day before, that are lasting, or at least that was the case for me. And so actually I could very much go back to working. It was never a 9-to-5 for me. It was like a 9-to-9. I mean, broadcast media in New York is super competitive, and so it wasn't a 9-to-5, but if you mean a traditional structure insofar as my career, could I go back to it? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like what I'm doing a lot right now, but I really want to build it out, as I said, and add so many more components to it. And until I do that, I won't be satisfied, and I won't feel like I fulfilled my passion. And then it's hopefully, God willing, it's a long life, and can you really commit to one thing forever? I mean, I really love probate law, for instance. I really love working with people who are going through divorces, child support modifications, everything. And I don't know. I just don't know what the future holds, but definitely I could go back. What is your biggest advice to an influencer starting out? Well, for me, I started at a slightly different time. I would say I started about 3.5 years ago now, I think it is. And I was still working at my previous jobs. So that helped a lot, because I will say it takes takes a while to get your feet off the ground and to acclimate, even just on a personal level, to know what you really want to do with your presence on social media, to know what really fulfills you, and then of course to start building and monetizing. So there are all the the traditional fundamental tenets that everybody will tell you, which is like, be consistent, find your own niche, bring your gift to the table, don't copy somebody else's. Those are absolute truths. But in addition to that, I would say, have something else that keeps you busy and occupied as well. It doesn't mean that you can't be passionate about a blog or influencing or social media. It just means that, like Oprah talks about this all the time. I think I brought this up before, but the difference between a career and a calling. So if you feel that your calling is to have a blog or, a forum where that's your own, I think that you should absolutely follow your calling. In fact, I know you should. But what I will also say is it's nice to also have residual income coming from elsewhere, and something else that you're focused on, because otherwise, like, even now I start to get obsessive, like, I'm not doing enough, I'm not growing enough, it's not happening fast enough. And so I was very fortunate, I think, that things slowly started to wind down at my old job, while I was sort of building this structure on the weekends, because one, I was supplementing my income, but two, it wasn't like, oh my God, this isn't happening, and I wasn't getting discouraged, in other words. So it's kind of all of those things, I would say. Okay, so I am going to run because it's 10:16. I didn't realize. I only wanted to pop on for a few minutes initially, but I'm so glad so many people, well, I don't know if it's so many people, but I don't care. Like, I'm so glad that the people that did joined, and always a great conversation with you guys, and I really appreciate that, and I really mean that. Really good vibes and good energy, and I just needed that today, so thank you. And I will be back. I don't know when, but I will be back. And if you need me, you can always DM me. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a great night. Bye.